season rolls around, Dwight Howard, all eyes on me for sure. Yes, Hawks fans, one thing we'll be able to do with Dwight, we'll be able to see this every night. We'll get to see him every night. And if you're not watching, don't worry, I got you covered. But we'll get to see him every night. You'll get to see how many touches he's getting, coach throwing him the ball, different things like that. You'll get to see what his work rate is like, how active is he being on a nightly basis. So you'll be able to see this nightly, what kind of activity he has going on, his IQ. This will all be on display for us to see. So no rush with everything. We can wait and watch this. I have my doubts, but I will say this to Dwight's defense, because like I said, I do like the move. To Dwight's defense, this summer will be one of his first summers in a long time where he's not rehabbing an injury, a back, surgery, anything like that, where he should be able to get in the gym and work on his game. That is huge. So hopefully he's able to do that. Hawks fans, again, in the background, you still got Millsap. He's been an all-star since he's been here. Schroeder, I'm not mad. Schroeder, T, 6-1, half dozen in the other. Yes, Jeff was an all-star, but I don't know if that was that Jeff's best year. Remains to be seen. Again, Kyle Korver's 35. He doesn't. Last year, remember, his season was ended in the playoffs with Dellavedova rolling into him, so he wasn't able to work on his legs or anything like that. This year, he'll be able to do that, although he's 35. But that's one thing with having Dwight now. Hopefully, he'll take some of the pressure off some of those guys, and you could throw it to him, and maybe he does get a double team and get guys wide open looks. We'll see. But yes, I am okay with the Dwight Howard move. On the flip side, Boston, Al Horford, and as far as Al Horford is concerned, Hawks fans, and this is all you need to know about Al Horford. We saw him here 8 years, 9 years, however long it was. We've seen Al Horford. But I'm just going to give you some numbers and a quote to sum up Al Horford. This quote comes from Tommy Heinsohn. Tommy Heinsohn, Boston former coach, former player, Celtic legend for sure. He now does the color commentary on the Celtics games. You know who Tommy Heinsohn is. You should know who he is. He's one of the best color. He is biased as all get out. But during the playoffs, he was asked, he's talking about I think it was after game 1 during the Hawks-Celtics series. And this was his direct quote in regards to Al Horford. He said, the Celtics, and referring to the Celtics can beat this Hawks team because Horford, referring to Al, as much as you think he's a great player, he's not a great player. Get a man on him, and he has trouble scoring. So that is spoken like a coach. Hey, get a man on him, stick a hand in his face, he's going to have problems. Sign, stitch. That's what Tommy Heinsohn had to say about Al Horford. What I didn't like about Al Horford and what he had become here in Atlanta, so I was like, it's time for him to go. Al Horford had become a three-point shooter. He had become a big man, a center that shoots threes. That's not productive to me. And I'm going to give you some numbers. In his first 8 years, Al played with the Hawks for 9 seasons. In his first 8 years in the league with the Hawks, Al attempted a total of 65 three-pointers. That's 8 a season, 1 every 10 games, give or take, right? Last season alone, he shot 32%, by the way. Last season alone, he shot 256 three-pointers. So he quadrupled his career output in 1 season, attempting over 3 a game. He only shot 34%. And yes, when you would go down to the games, you could hear the collective moan. He was becoming the Josh Smith. And when he makes one, it's like, oh, okay, but you don't want him shooting it again. Again, I can give you his numbers. But yeah, it was time. This had run its course. Only time will tell who got the better end of this deal. But Celtics fans, I will tell you, if maxing Al Horford was your missing piece, if that was the missing piece, maxing Al Horford, yeah, good luck with that. Seriously, good luck with that. I have a question. Hit me up. Hit me up on this one. Who would win the 7-game series right now? If they were to start the season with a 7-game series, Boston versus Atlanta, who would win that 7-game series? Hit me up. Let me know. Let me know. 404-806-1416. Or you can hit my email, mailbagmarcus@gmail.com. All right, let me hit the rest of these teams. Just go around the NBA, like I said, in alphabetical order. Brooklyn, they're trying to put together an NBA team. They've signed Jeremy Lin, signed some other guys, but they're literally trying to build a roster. Charlotte, they re-upped with Nicholas Batum. 5 years, 120. Again, not about the money. It's about what they got towards the pie. They let Big Al Jefferson walk. They let him walk so they could also bring back Marvin Williams. Marvin Williams decided not to take more money from Brooklyn. Again, Brooklyn's trying to put together a roster. He decided to take less money and stay right there in Charlotte. Chicago, as we saw, Chicago traded Derrick Rose to New York. Not surprised there. Bulls fans, as you know, listening to the show, on the show, again, people have nicknames. Derrick Rose is known around these parts as the mayor. And we said at the beginning of when they signed on Fred Hoiberg, Coach Fred Hoiberg, the mayor, when they hired him on as the coach, we said it then. There can only be one mayor in the city, fam. And ultimately, they ended up trading Derrick Rose. They've now replaced him with Rondo. Rondo is now going to be the point guard. Paul Gasol's not back. Noah's gone. All these different things. Bulls are clearly in rebuild. I was talking to my Chicago folks. You know what it is. You had to make a decision who you wanted to build around. So you decided to build around Jimmy Butler. He's been healthier. Gives you a little bit more flexibility. Things had run its course with Derrick Rose. So, yeah. Fred Hoiberg, I wish you the best with Rondo. Again, Rondo can never, ever play for my basketball team. I'm good. I am absolutely good. Fred Hoiberg, good luck with that. Bulls, I'm giving y'all 35. Give me 35 and 47 this year. That's what I predict for y'all. The Knicks, since we're talking about the Knicks, let's go ahead and get to the Knicks. D Rose is now a Knick. We're able to also bring in Joakim Noah. At one point, Knicks fans were really gassed about trying to get Kevin Durant. That wasn't going to happen. But Courtney Lee, you signed Courtney Lee as well. Can't forget about him. And now you have a solid starting five. You have put some ball players around Melo and Porzingis. You've got Rose at the 1, Courtney Lee at the 2, Melo and Porzingis at the forward spots, and Noah under the goal. That is a solid starting five. That is a playoff-worthy, playoff-contending team. And, props to the Knicks. They had a very good offseason. It's going to be now on Coach Hornacek to get that team to play some defense. That's going to be the thing with them. Will they play enough defense and defend nightly? Because you got some guys that have been superstars, and they've not always had to stick their nose in the dirt and play some defense. Yeah. So props to the Knicks. Dallas, they end up being the recipients of all of Golden State's moves. So they ended up getting Harrison Barnes in a max deal. They had put the offer out there. Naturally, Golden State didn't match when they got Kevin Durant. They made a trade for Andrew Bogut. They let Chandler Parsons walk. Dirk is back. So Dallas made some moves. They have been trying to, again, you got to overpay when you're looking to get a piece, get somebody to leave their current team, what have you. Harrison Barnes is younger. He hasn't had the injury history that Chandler Parsons has had. So props to them. That's a piece. They have themselves a piece. Detroit, they re-upped Andre Drummond. No surprise there. He got all his money. Houston picked up both Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon from New Orleans. They're surrounding James Harden with shooters. We know Coach D'Antoni's in charge there, so they're not going to play with anybody in the paint. They're going to spread it out. And remember where you heard this first. I really, really believe this. James Harden is going to play a lot of point guard for them. Matter of fact, he's going to be the point guard on the roster. He may not start out at that position every night, but he is going to have the ball, and he's going to orchestrate the offense, a la Steve Nash, a la the point guards that have played for Mike D'Antoni. That is going to be James Harden's role, and like I said, he's going to play a lot of point guard for this team. Don't be surprised by that. Remember where you heard that first. They have James Harden. They got Eric Gordon, Trevor Ariza. You're going to see Anderson out there, Ryan Anderson, to play the 4 to spread the floor, and then they'll have Capella under the goal, to get rebounds. That is the best way. that is the way D'Antoni would like to play. You don't want to throw his bigs the ball at all. So a guy like Capella, block shots, get rebounds, finish around the rim. Those are the kind of guys he wants. Indiana had a good offseason. They signed Al Jefferson to a 3-year deal. We know they traded for Jeff Teague. They also picked up Thaddeus Young from Brooklyn in a trade. So they have, again, upgraded their starting 5 surrounding Paul George with more basketball players. If they can pull off the trade, and word is Larry Bird is working on a trade for Monte Ellis for Rudy Gay, Sacramento to Indiana. If they can pull off that trade, they are definitely top 2, top 3 in the East for sure. I would put them behind Cleveland if they are able to make that move. So props to them, and that's where I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop in the eyes. I'll come back. Clippers, wait, let me do the Clippers real quick. Clippers, they pretty much brought back everybody they had. They re-signed Jamal Crawford, Austin Rivers, Wesley Johnson. They let Jeff Green walk. No surprise there. So, yeah, we'll definitely talk the rest. When we get back, we're going to talk Lakers. Laker fans, I got us. I'm going to put on the Laker hat, and we are definitely going to talk Lakers and the moves that they made in free agency. I try to defend it, but I got to keep it real. All right, let's get into some music. When we get back, though, the rest of free agency, then I got some football and some random stuff for you. You are listening to the Marcus Harper Podcast. I am your host, Marcus Harper. Life is good. We'll be right back.
I am the voyeur laying next to you at night, watching you when you sleep. I am your source of strength when it all falls down and you're on your knees. And when the day comes and everybody's gone, you can call me a friend. I'll be here for your new beginnings, and I'll be here in the end, here in the end. I'm gonna tell the world I love you, baby.
Hey, hey.
Shout it out in the streets, shout it out in the streets. I'm gonna talk about the joy you bring me, girl.
Let it cook.
What you doing tonight?
You gotta let that cook.
I am the shining star you see at night when you're in the storm, guiding you through the storm. I am the beating heart that's by your side when you're in my arms.
Hey.
And when the day comes when everybody's long gone, I'm watching you sleep. I'll be watching you sleep. You don't have to worry if you got my heart.
Yes.
It's yours to keep, yours to keep.
We are back. You are listening to the Marcus Harper Podcast. I am your host, Marcus Harper. That was Jazzanova featuring Fonte Coleman, also known as the dude over my right shoulder in my Avi on Twitter. For those of you that have seen it, that is him, the conductor. Yes, sir. Song from